Hi friends, Itheria here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Moogle Treasure Trove, the second hunt for Genesis. We're going to be going over the rewards. I will be separating this video into two parts. So the first part will be discussing which rewards I think are worth farming, or maybe worth farming depending on your own preferences. And then the second part will of course be the things that I think probably aren't worth farming, and I will of course tell you why. As you can see, this event is starting on Tuesday, May 14th, and will be ending on Monday, June 24th. So just like the last event, we're also going to be getting this Mogpendium, which will show all of the objectives that we can do. So we're getting the standard objectives, which are your spammable objectives, things in the duty finder, ocean fishing, I believe, and as well as gates in the gold saucer, just like last time. And like last time, we're going to have the weekly objectives and the mini Mog challenges. Both of these are going to be things you can do once per week, and they'll change every week. I believe you will get 20 tomestones, 20 Moogle tomestones for this, because I'm pretty sure that's what it was last time. And then you get the Ulti-Mog challenge here, which is going to be a once per event completion. Last time it was getting like, I think 5,000 or 8,000 points for ocean fishing, so it'll probably be something different this time. But I think you get 50 for doing this, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly. So that's kind of how this event is going to work. So now let's get into the rewards and talk about what I think is worth it. So first of all, we have the Emerald Carbuncle Earring, which costs 100 Moogle tomestones. This is the exclusive item. They always choose something to be 100 tomestones. That is exclusive. Usually it is like an exclusive earring, or sometimes it's a necklace. I think one time we got a jacket, which was really cool, but this time it is the earring. Next up, we have the Ufiti horn, which will help you acquire the Ufiti mount, and it's going to cost 50 Moogle tomestones. Now, regularly, this costs 8,400 Sky Builders scripts, which you get in the firmament if you do like Ishgard restoration stuff. It can take a while to farm, so I do think that if you're interested in this mount, getting it here would be a good idea. You can, of course, buy the Ufiti horn off of the market board as well, but it does cost around 450k, so nothing to sneeze at there. So definitely a good one to farm if you like the mount. Next, we have the Gabriel Alpha, is that what that is? Identification key. This is costing, again, 50 Moogle tomestones. This one is a rare drop from Boston Southern Front lockboxes. It's also available on the market board for roughly 300k. So again, another one that if you want to save money and or not rely on RNG to get this item, this would be one that you would want to farm. Next, we have the Domakin minion, which costs 50 Moogle tomestones. This one is a rare drop that comes from retainer ventures, specifically Fisher retainers. So you can get it from Quick Exploration or Waterside Exploration XXV, which I believe is 25. And because it's rare, it costs about 600 to 800k on the market board. So another one that if you like this minion would be worth grabbing from this event. Next is the Blinding Indigo Orchestrion roll, which costs 50 Moogle tomestones. This drops in Eden's Gate Inundation, but it must be relatively rare or hard to get because you can sell it on the market board for 300 to 400k. So if you like the song, might want to farm it. Alright, getting into 30 Moogle tomestones, they're starting to drop. We have the Mhigan Barding. This one comes from a level 68 special fate called Rattle and Humbaba, which is in the peaks. And it's actually a fate that you have to spawn with a different fate. And here's the thing, it might not be that hard to get this in the game, but they don't have this one on Faloop. And I've seen people talking on Reddit that not a lot of people do the fate and that it can be hard to do it on your own. So this might be one that you want to get from the event just because it might be a little bit easier, to be honest. Like if you have to go through the motion of spawning the fate and then you don't have enough people doing the fate, like I don't know. It's one of those things where I maybe wouldn't put this as a top priority item to get, but if you really like this barding and you really want it, it might be worth just grabbing it from the Moogle Tomestone event. Alright, and now we are skipping down here to potentially special Timeworn map times 2. So the cool thing about these is that they are guaranteed to spawn a level 90 treasure map dungeon. So you can only get these from the event, and I think they're going to be great for anybody who enjoys running maps and maybe you're farming something that you want from the level 90 maps, whether that be some sort of item that you need to craft something. There's some cool mounts in there that you have to get like drops from. So being guaranteed a portal, and for level 90, this is level 90, not level 80 like last time, is actually pretty cool. And these are also 30 Moogle tomestones. Alright, now going down to the round Lanner here, another 30 Moogle tomestones. This one comes from the Minstrel's Ballad, Thornton's Reign. Now, it is quite easy to unsync this at level 90. You can solo it, but it's kind of annoying to solo it because the boss disappears and you have to wait forever for him to come back, and it's like a whole thing. If you're with a full party of like unsynced level 90 players, you might be able to kill the boss before he disappears, so it'd be a lot easier. But this is just one of those things that for some people, if you don't want to mess with RNG, it's just easier to get in the Moogle Tomestone event. Like, this isn't necessarily a difficult mount to get, but for some people it's preferable to get it from the Moogle event rather than hope that you don't have to farm 99 tokens from that extreme trial. So there it is. Kind of same deal with the Auspicious Kamuy fief, is it's one of those things where it's not really that hard to farm, but again, if you don't want to have to worry about RNG, you just want to get the darn thing, then 30 Moogle tomestones and it's yours. Next, we have the MGP Platinum Card, which is one of the best things that you can get from this event, especially after you've gotten any of the like hard hitters, like if you get your Ufiti mount and you want to get other stuff. This is always such a good one. It gives you 50,000 MGP. And so if you're farming towards anything in the gold saucer, maybe some cute glims, or maybe the 4 mil mount, whatever it may be, these are great. These are fantastic. And the cool thing too is that this Moogle Treasure Trove event is going to coincide with the Make It Rain event. So if you are farming your MGP, you can farm gates. So from those gates, you will get extra MGP because of the Make It Rain event, but you will also be getting Moogle tomestones, which you can then spend on MGP Platinum cards. Oh my god, it's going to be the most incredible MGP farming event that we have seen in a while. So just keep that in mind. Alright, now I'm moving down because a lot of this stuff I don't think is worth it, so I'll tackle that in the next section. The Paissa card, okay? Some of you guys, and the Dhalmel one, some of you guys might be like, Etheria, why are you including this? Listen, I suck at Triple Triad. I probably need to read over the rules again, and then maybe I would get it. But the Paissa card and the Dhalmel card, they come from Lynette in the Sea of Clouds. You have to beat her at Triple Triad, and it's a little bit RNG. If you win, you don't always get a card. So I would just buy them. It costs 10 Moogle tomestones. I mean, you maybe go play her for a little bit, see if you can get one. If you can't, go and buy this. Because I was playing against her for like a good 10 minutes and failing hard. And I managed to get the Dhalmel card, but the Paissa one, I'm like, you know what? I'll just buy it. It's not that hard to get 10 of these things. And it seems like it'd be easier for me because I suck at Triple Triad. Okay, and finally, the last thing that I think is worth it to get with Moogle tomestones. It costs 7 Moogle tomestones. It's the Behemoth Heir. And this is a minion, and usually it costs 400 Centurio seals. Again, Centurio seals aren't like super hard to get, but I feel like not that many people are doing like Centurio hunt trains. So you probably have to just do like the posted hunts, like the one a week kind of deal. And I just feel like I would rather spend those Centurio seals on other stuff like Aetheryte tickets, or there's some really cool like mounts and emotes you can get with Centurio seals. So like, I'm not spending 400 Centurio seals on a minion. Like, I want to get the cool emotes and mounts and stuff, so I would much rather get this with 7 Moogle tomestones, because again, Moogle tomestones are like candy, right? They're like trash. They're like chump change compared to the Centurio seals, at least in my opinion. So that's that. Now we're going to move on to the items that I think probably aren't worth it. I'm going to tell you what they are, and I'm going to tell you why. So if we go back up, the first one that I felt probably wasn't worth it was this On Windy Meadows Orchestrion Roll. So this is 30 Moogle tomestones, and there's a couple places you can get this from. You can get it from the Aquapolis, which is a treasure dungeon that comes from the level 70 Timeworn Dragon Skin map. Alternatively, you can get it from the level 60 Timeworn Wyvern Skin map, which I believe you'll get the drop this Orchestrion roll when you just open the chest that you've dug. But either way, it's not like super hard to get because a lot of the older maps can be soloed. You don't even like need to have people help you. And the other thing is you can get this on the market board for 100k, which I know to like newer players is a lot, but for a lot of, you know, other players who've been here a while, it's really not. So to me, like, this one isn't really high priority at all unless you don't want to spend 100k and you don't want to worry about RNG, but I don't really think it's worth 30. Next, we have the Cheerful Checkered Parasol, which I also don't really think is worth 30 because you can get this from FET presents, and FETs are really easy to do. They happen again in the Ishgard Restoration area in the Firmament. I don't remember what the timer on them is. I think it's like every other day or something like that. You can Google it. I believe in you. So it's like an RNG drop from there, or you can get it with 1800 Skybuilder scripts, or you can pay 100 to 200k on the market board. Again, it's another one of those things where I'm like, it's not really that much money, and it wouldn't really take that long to get those Skybuilder scripts for it. So it really depends. I mean, it's one of those things that's like, if you're really poor and you really like this Parasol, then I guess get it from the event, but I just don't think it's worth it. Next, we're going to the Direwolf Whistle here. This is something that you get from the Ixali Beast Tribe, and they're charging 30 Moogle tomestones for this. And I don't know, to me it's really easy to get because you just do the Beast Tribe quests, and yeah, it's going to take a little time because you probably have to be trusted or something along those lines to get it. Usually it's trusted, I think. And it does cost 120k. So there's that too. So to me, it's not worth it because I just think it's really easy to get from the Beast Tribe, and I don't think 120k is a lot. But if you think it's a lot and you really like the mount, then again, maybe you want to spend your tomestones on it. Okay, but this next one, the Gullfaxi Whistle, absolutely do not spend your tomestones. This one is so easy to get. This one comes from the Naval Extreme, and literally once you're able to unsync this, you don't even have to be 90, you could be like 80 or probably even 70. Like you can unsync this one so easy. It's so easy to kill. It's so like quick. It's just not worth spending the tomestones on at all. Like, yeah, there's a little bit of RNG involved, but with how easy it is to unsync it, it's just like you're gonna get it in no time. Don't even worry about it. All right, next we have the Philosopher's Stone Table, which they want 20 Moogle tomestones for. Not worth it, my friends. This is craftable and it costs only 10 to 15k on the market board, so don't waste your tomestones on this. Similarly, we have the Crystarium Wardrobe, which costs, again, 20 Moogle tomestones, and this one's even less worth it because, again, it's a crafted furnishing that you can get for under 5k on the market board, so don't bother with this. Same thing with the low bookshelf. It's 20 Moogle tomestones. This one costs like 30k on the market board, and of course it's craftable, so it's just really not worth it. All of these armors, these late Allagan armors of scouting, aiming, code of healing, code of casting, these are all things that you can get with wolf marks in the wolf's den, and they only cost like 4k wolf marks each, which, I mean, do a frontline and you probably already have that much. Like, I don't know how long it takes to get wolf marks. I just noticed that I always have too many of them. Like, before I know it, I'm bursting at the seams with wolf marks, so there's really no reason. There's really no reason. All right, next we have the Innocence card. This one comes from the Crown of the Immaculate, which is level 79, or you can get it from the Extreme Trial, which is level 80, but honestly, it's not really a hard fight. You can probably get the drop before you know it. I don't really think it's worth 7. Same thing with the 9S. This one comes from Copied Factory, which is level 80. And I mean, I just don't think it's going to be that hard for you to get this card. You just have to run Copied Factory, and there's probably not going to be like a terrible amount of competition for it because so many people have done that fight already, so I wouldn't worry about it. Next, we have this minion, the Petit Pteranodon. I don't know how to pronounce that. This one comes from the Kupo of Fortune game in the Firmament, but you can buy it on the market board for about 70k. So again, to me, I don't really think it's worth it, but then again, 7 Moogle tomestones isn't a lot, so if you'd rather do that than spend 70k, go for it. Finally, we have the Keepers of the Lock Orchestrion roll. This one costs 3 Ananta tribe currencies, so the Stormblood, like Snake Lady tribe, it just costs 3. It's so easy, guys. Like, the Beast tribes are so easy. You can't even imagine. Like, just do the Beast tribe. There's other really cool stuff you can get from the Ananta, like false nails. Don't you want nails you can dye? Go do the Beast tribe and get both of those things. Finally, we have these Magicked Prisms. This is what you spend your currency on when the event has long ended, or when you have like 6 left and you literally can't buy anything else. They're not worth it otherwise. Okay, so that is everything from the event. We have gone over it all, and I hope that that helps you figure out what you want to farm and what you think is worth farming. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited about to farm for this event. And as always, please consider leaving a sacrifice for Lord Algorithm in the form of a like, comment, share, or subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!